Dun,
Dub,
dun.
have you had any alcohol?
I don't need it. I really don't.
Drunk Dub is
I
more
don't.
entertaining Dub.
I don't get how. I really don't understand it, and it goes to show that not a lot of people watch Gridiron because Fluent is really bad, like really, really bad. So like I just don't understand kind of like the underdog feeling. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I fuck with it. I like being the underdog, but I just don't get it. It's weird to me, but it is what it is.
You should put your mask on. It's a good look for you.
For me,
Yeah, your
which
underdog
one?
mask. Your underdog mask.
I would love to put that mask on
You
actually,
should.
but not
Yo,
today.
I can't wait. I can't wait in 30 years for this footage to be ran back and Dub is looking like Fluent and there's some little punk that comes and challenges him. And
I
we'll
don't,
see what
can
happens.
we
We'll see how
stop?
he feels
Can we
then.
stop that? Can we stop that? Me and
Dub,
Fluent.
no,
No,
I'm
no,
no.
sorry,
stop.
Dub.
You
I'm
No,
guys
sorry,
no,
Dub.
look
I'm
stop
Dub,
sorry.
that.
I'm
Dub
sorry.
can't handle the truth.
Stop. Well,
Dub,
you could say that we maybe look alike, but bro, when I sit here and say me and Fluent are so different from each other, like so much. I don't like you, Fluent. I'll just tell you, I really don't.
Oh,
You embody
I
it.
like you, Dub.
You could say you like me. You
I like
embody
you, Dub.
you embody
You're like, that little
you
kind of short, balding little toy I used to have when I was a kid.
balding, and that's just a lie. Which goes to my point. You're just a fucking idiot. Like this is
You're not
just a
short?
widow's peak.
You're not short?
You said
My
balding,
8-year-old
you
son is
idiot.
your height.
You said balding, you idiot.
It
You
kind of
said
looks like
balding,
you're.
you
What are you missing? It
idiot.
looks like you're missing up there. I
It's
think I got much better hair than you.
it's a widow's peak. I've had it my
It's a
whole
widow's
life.
peak. Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, yes. See,
Widow's peak.
all right, so we got to get into these battles. We're a little behind schedule, but that's not gonna stop us from going
Dub,
full
are you
fledged
about
on
to
in this
lose
battle
this?
and letting y'all go crazy.
it's just it's what's it called? It's just so funny, bro. I just don't like Fluent. I'll just be real. I really just don't.
I love
All right.
Fluent. I don't know why you don't like. I actually love
I'm a
He
Fluent, but I
full
just
love you
fluent
too,
guy
Dub.
too,
I'm
but
very
I'm a
nah
much.
he
doubleaholic as well.
he just embodies everything that I hate. So it's
Yeah.
like every
Knowledge,
specific
context. I get it.
every specific person I hate
Actually
is like
having done
wrapped
it. Yeah,
is
those
like
must be
wrapped
things you
into
hate.
Fluent.
Hmm.
What's it called? Egotistical, arrogant, cocky, know it all.
That's facts.
Goes to school but really doesn't know shit. I mean, that's just who you are, Fluent. So it's just like it's funny.
Woo-wee.
It's funny seeing it.
All
All
right,
And
check it
your
right,
out.
and your
man.
Check it out.
dad jokes and your
Check it out. Who wants to go first?
I'll let this piece of shit go first.
Dub, do you want to go first?
I'll go first. It'll be easy.
All right. First topic is Hakeem versus Kareem.
Oh, that's the first topic?
That's
Or
the first
maybe
topic.
I'll let Fluent go first on that
No,
one. He
that's
loves
too
to go
late,
first.
brother.
I would love. I thought it was gonna be production versus
we,
talent.
we can do production. Go ahead.
Right.
First
Okay.
topic, production versus talent.
Uh, okay.
Hold
Am
up,
I
hold
gonna
up.
get the solo screen?
Yeah, you gonna get it.
Uh,
All right, look, I'm gonna remove myself. Time starts when you start.
word.
Whenever you're ready.
So yeah, when this whole production and talent thing, I think the first thing we have to clarify where we're talking about talent is not just like bag and everything where people get stuck in. It's more like the player themselves, how great of a player is. And I think a lot of times people overrate production to an extent and overrate production to the point where they begin to overrate players. My point is my counterpart was saying say that Bradley Beal was a better scorer than Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, where he's dropping 30 points per game. I just think that that's just completely ridiculous to say because if you really understand basketball, you can understand that Bradley Beal was in a scenario where he had to put up that many points, while Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant were playing with each other. So that's why they couldn't be a 30 points per game scorer. On top of that, we also let production school on opinion on people. Debo Samuel is another perfect example of that. I said last year he wasn't a top 10 wide receiver, mainly because of maybe because of him as a player, the situation he was in. That was the reason why he accumulated the stats. But this year, now that the running threat is not there, people schemed up on him. We really see who he really is. He's not a great route runner. He's not a great catcher. He's not really great at anything besides being an athlete on the football field and run after catch. This is just some examples of overrated production and skewing on opinion about somebody. And that's all I got to say.
Ron. You're muted.
Fluent. It's on you whenever you're ready.
I'm just laughing because that was the worst argument that I've ever heard. I should say nothing and still win. So here's the thing. When people say production or talent, losers say talent, skill. That's what I look at. So I'll give you an example. And I won't put, here's the problem. You try to put names on these things. So you try to say, oh, Bradley. No, we're not putting names on this because clearly we're looking at a player versus a player and the names don't matter. So when you look at talent versus production, you can have all the talent in the world and still be a loser. So it doesn't make you better because you're talented. Talent gets you in the door. Talent gets you into the NBA. Production makes you a winner. Production makes you successful. The Los Angeles Lakers might be one of the most talented teams in the West, talent-wise, but they're last. Why? Because they're not producing on the court. So at the end of the day, no matter how talented you are, no matter how skilled you are, you're going to be judged by wins and losses. You're going to be judged by your points, by your assists, by your statistics, by what you do. So it doesn't matter how talented you are. We've seen multiple people who were extremely talented who didn't produce on the court or on the field. So yes, both are important because you need to be talented to produce. But when you look at a player, do you want 10 of the most talented guys, or do you want the 10 guys who produce the most and win? You're always going to choose the 10 that are the ones that produce and that win. Losers are going to say, but look, I can hit a mid-court fucking three-pointer. Cool. I can shoot a logo three. But if you keep losing, it doesn't matter. You have to produce. So
All right, Fluent. Dub, it is now on you. Your time starts whenever you are ready to rebuttal.
So this goes to my point again. Fluent just doesn't listen to anybody. All I said is that production does matter. I did say that in my statement. But the overrating of production is something that I don't agree with. Of course, when you have talent, of course, as players, you have to be able to produce. I'm not completely negating that. And that's what you think that I'm doing. You're misunderstanding like you always do. What I'm saying is that we can't just, if we have guys who produce and are very talented as well, what people do is they lean on production way more than they should. For example, Magic Johnson and Stephen Curry is a good debate to get into. A lot of people would say Magic Johnson is better when they lean towards the production side of things. Stephen Curry also has the production side of things as winning and things like that. And when we have guys who are so close to caliber of them, I think that's when we just look at them as the talented players because they've accomplished a lot in the league. They dominate a lot in the league. And when we have a talk about Steph Curry and Magic Johnson, they produce enough where we can just sit here and talk about talent. But to sit here and just lean on the argument of, oh, Magic Johnson won more or he won more MVPs or finals MVPs, that's just something I don't agree with because that's not a correct way of viewing basketball. That's a stupid way of viewing basketball. So you're trying to say I'm negating production, which is not true. I'm just saying that overrating people because of production is a complete wrong thing to do. Like I said, you just don't listen, don't understand, and you try to produce a narrative that just isn't there.
All right, check it out.
you keep trying to put.
Hold on, wait. It's the third round. I'm gonna remove myself from.
Wait, he has to. Wait, it's his turn to respond. Wait, Ron, no, Ron, he needs to go because I went first. I went first, right? So Fluent has. Yeah.
Oop.
Go. It's on you, Fluent.
Dub continually tries to put a face on the debate because when he says like Beal and KD or whatever, he tries to put two players that one is better than the other. This debate, this conversation is about what's more important, talent or production. That's the debate. You can say anybody's name you want. You can make up at the end of the day. If two people are equally talented, what's the deciding factor? It's who produced more. If someone is more talented than someone else, but the person who's less talented produces more, meaning more stats, more chips, more whatever on the court, the person with the more production. So if you have to weight it, yes, they're most important. I hear what you're saying. The one that produces the most wins. With a team, same thing. Are the Nets not a talented basketball team? Absolutely. They got talent top to bottom, but they're not winning. So it doesn't matter because the production is what matters the most. So again, yes, I'm listening. Both are important, but you have to produce. You can have all the talent in the world. If you don't get it done, it don't matter. You have to get it done. And again, we're going to talk about two very talented people coming up here in a minute. And what decides the difference between the two of them? Who produced more? Because that's what matters most. and now you're more fluent.
Damn, Dub. Are you more fluent? Yes or no?
I could talk now.
Yeah.
So
It's
like,
hold on, wait. It's
mhm.
it's on you guys. I'm gonna remove myself from the call. You guys got 3 minutes to debate on the topic.
So what you're doing right now, which is cool, you're making this to a team aspect rather than an individual aspect. In a team environment, of course, production is key. But when we're talking about analyzing and talking about players, which I did begin with overrating and having opinions on players, that's where I'm saying production is way too overboard. And I'm
So if
putting
you
the
have two
names.
players
Wait,
that are
hold on, wait,
equal
wait.
talent, what's
I'm
the
putting the
difference?
names. I'm putting the names like a Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, because anybody in their
But those
right
guys aren't
mind
equally
can
talented.
understand. What are you talking about? You said out your mouth that Bradley Beal was a better
No,
scorer
what
than
I said
Stephen
was, no, I
Curry
didn't. No, I
and
didn't.
Kevin
No,
Durant
I
in those
didn't.
seasons. What did
No,
you
I
say then?
didn't.
What did
No,
you
I
say?
didn't. You said what if you said what if Bradley Beal scored more than Kevin Durant? Who's the
That's not
better
what I
scorer?
said.
That is exactly what you said.
Now
And I
you're lying.
responded,
Now you're
no,
lying.
I got the tape. I responded by saying if Beal scored more and hit at a higher percentage, then yes, he would have been a better scorer that year. And I don't care what name you put on it. It doesn't matter whose name you put on it. If someone scores more and hits a higher percentage, they are a better scorer than someone who scored less at a lower percentage. That's why I say
Mhm.
you try to put names on it because we all know KD's better than Beal, and you try to mucky up the waters. We take the names out. I score more at a higher percentage and you score less at a lower percentage. I did better than you. That's it. That
Fluent,
was the argument.
fluent. As I said before, and you're just lying to everybody.
That's not. I got the tape. I got the tape.
I've had constant conversations with you. I've had this about you 6, 7 months ago. OG the Beast was even on the show with you and talked with you about this. You said out your mouth, Bradley Bill was a better scorer, and
No,
you did
I
that on
didn't.
multiple
Go back and
occasions.
check the tape.
I
Go
have
back and check the
TikToks
tape.
about this,
No,
Fluent.
no, because
So now
Do
you're
you
just
have the
over here.
TikToks
bro.
right now?
Now
You cut up the
Do you
let
have
me
the
TikToks.
look it up.
TikToks right
Let me
now?
look
You
it up.
cut up the
Let me look it.
TikToks. Go watch the full video, not the clip that
Fluent.
you edited yourself.
Fluent. What are you
Like, give me a
talking about?
break,
What
bro.
are you
You
doing, Fluent?
edited the clip
Then
yourself.
let's pull it
Yes
up.
or no?
Let's pull it up.
Yes or
Because
no?
you're just
Do you
lying.
edit the
Dub,
clips?
did you
You're
Yes
just
or
edit the
no?
lying.
clip? Did
I
you
Go ahead.
edit
You
the
edit the
clip?
clip.
I did
You
edit
edit
the
the
clip.
clips. So
And
get out of here
Fluent,
with time to show you the clip. Let me edit the clips.
I've
Let
told
me
you
edit the
plenty
clips
of
and see.
times. I told you plenty of times. I do not edit clips for my own personal bias. If you
Did you
say
edit the
something
clip? Yes
and
or
get
no?
yourself caught up in
Did
a
you edit the
Wait,
clip?
Dub.
I expose that. I'm sorry.
Dub,
It is what
hold
it
on.
is.
Fluent. Do you feel like Dub edits clips for his own personal bias?
100%. 100%.
And that is wrong
100%.
because I even put
That's the poll
myself
you should put in
and
the
I
chat.
even
Does
and
Dub
I
edit
even
the clips for his
and
own
I
personal
even put
success?
myself
You'll see
and I even put
100% say
myself
yes.
in I even put myself in bad predicaments by editing clips.
Yeah, you
So what
like
you're
that.
saying
You like
doesn't
doing that.
no,
Absolutely.
I'm keeping it even ground. There's not no bias if I'm doing it with everybody. You don't make sense again.
It
Stop
makes
being an
complete
idiot,
sense.
please.
I don't even
Now
think you
you're
watch the show when you edit your clips. I don't even think you do because you would have known that's what I said. I said
what,
if the person
Fluent,
who
I had the
scores more.
conversation with you. What are you talking about? You
I
All
said
right,
showed
out
y'all.
your
you.
mouth
All
numerous
right.
You
times.
want
We
to
got to
show a
move
clip
on
that
to the
you
next
edited.
topic. Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. I know that's elite content. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut it off, but we have to move on to the next topic. We got other battles ahead. I'm going to bring these two back in, and we're going to get on with the next topic. Are y'all ready for this?
Let's go.
We're going to do the Hakeem versus Kareem.
Oh man.
Since Dub went first, Fluent, I'm going to let you go first this time.
Honestly, this one's super close. Like, I got both of these guys as top 10 players of all time. And as my counterpart, who clearly doesn't know the history of basketball, calls Kareem a fraud. So I'm going to take Kareem. And here's why I take Kareem. Because when you look at them talent-wise, they were both tremendous offensive players. They were both tremendous defensive players. They both led their teams to championships. So it's super close. But for their careers, Kareem averaged more points, more rebounds, more assists, higher field goal percentage, higher free throw shooting percentage, less turnovers. He did with less the same thing that Hakeem did. So Hakeem had a team built around him, but when you look at what they did historically, Kareem comes to a Bucks team that won 27 games. In his first season, they win 56. The second he gets a teammate that's good, a 32-year-old Oscar Robertson, they immediately win a championship. So when you look at Hakeem, also great, but Hakeem comes into a situation where he's got an all-star rookie of the year as his teammate, who's an all-star with him for the first 4 seasons of his career, in Ralph Sampson, an all-NBA player in 84-85. And when they get to the finals in that second year, go look at what Hakeem did. Not very good. So again, we have to nitpick because we have two ultra talented, super great players. The talent is neck and neck. Who produced more? Kareem. So when you have equal talent, to my last point, you have to go to production. And I mean, it's by a hair, but that's why it's Kareem over Hakeem.
And you got it. That was Fluent's first round. Dub, it is on you. Time starts when you start.
I agree with Fluent. It is really close with those guys. But to downplay Oscar Robertson like he wasn't a top 5 or top 10 player at that time is kind of ridiculous to do. Hakeem Olajuwon, in my opinion, the skill set between the two are so close to each other. Hakeem is the better defender. The scoring, I think, is damn near each other. And this goes to our point where we talk about production. We can't just sit here and say, oh, Kareem was producing 30-point per game seasons, and that's why he's producing more than him, so we're going to hold him up to a higher level. Because the reason why he put up that many points is mainly because of the pace of play. When we simplify that and do per 100 possessions, so we give Kareem and Hakeem Olajuwon only 100 possessions per game, and they track those stats about that. Hakeem outscored and outproduced Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 4 times out of Kareem's best season. So that just gives you an understanding that the production, even with the two, is this close with each other. So let's not just go on the production wave and just say, oh, 30 points per game here, he's automatically better. That just doesn't make sense. Now, when we talk about how they were successful in their career, yes, they both all had help. They both needed help. But I think what Hakeem did going to back-to-back NBA finals, winning back-to-back NBA finals, I think that was more impressive than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did, especially when he had a better supporting cast. And he never went back-to-back until he was getting washed out the league. And then Magic Johnson was the best player of the team. And that was the only time when they went back-to-back. So me personally, Hakeem going back-to-back chips is more impressive than what Kareem did.
Yeah, and like I said, he they're close. They're super close. But let's go back to some of the accolades as well. Because again, they're both super talented. But Kareem actually has more all defensive team, 11-9 over Olajuwon. And in the first 4 years, 5 years of his career, they didn't even have that award. He has more All NBA first teams. He obviously has more rings. He has more MVPs. So those are the things when, again, talent, skill, eye test, when you look at them, they're neck and neck. So again, I'll keep going back to production. The teammates that you talk about. Why do you ignore Ralph Sampson? Do you know who Kareem's best teammate was in his rookie year? Flynn Robinson. Tell me one thing about Flynn Robinson. You can't because you don't know who he is. So he's clearly not that guy, Flynn Robinson I'm talking about. When you look at Hakeem, we don't look at the names. You look at the names, you say, oh, he had less of a supporting cast in those 2 back-to-back seasons. No, he didn't. He had a perfect team built around him with Vernon Maxwell and Otis Thorpe and Kenny Smith. None of them great superstars, but all played their role perfectly. And in the second chip, he had an older, but still 20-plus point per game, Clyde Drexler. So he absolutely had help. What you don't talk about is in those playoffs and in those finals, the 10 years beforehand, where he didn't perform. And in their head-to-head matchups at the tail end of Kareem's career versus Hakeem, Kareem 18-5. So in their head-to-head matchups, Kareem outplayed him.
When you look at some of the head-to-head matchups, I remember a year, I think it was 1987, 1986. Hakeem actually washed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It was his last year in the
I
league. Of
just
course,
know.
he was 40 years old.
Okay. Oh, I get interrupted. Wow. Is there any penalty points? Okay, I'm gonna restart my time.
You get 15 more seconds, Doug. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. And then I didn't even negate Ralph Sampson, so let's not do that. I never negated it. I just said that Oscar Robertson was a high quality player as well. So let's not go by that logic. I'm looking for this Bradley Beal thing so that y'all could get yourself caught up. So I really wasn't paying attention to what you said. But to further my point about Hakeem Olajuwon, he went back-to-back NBA Finals, and I'm comparing the situation that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had a Magic Johnson, Norm Nixon, Jamal Wilkes, and that even started to get replaced with like a Michael Cooper, a James Worthy started coming in the fray. So the fact that he couldn't even go back-to-back NBA Finals with that type of supporting cast, and Hakeem did it with, like who you said, Otis Thorpe, Kenny Smith, is vastly more impressive to me. So especially when I think the year when they won in 1980, the next year in 1981 they lost to the Houston Rockets because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar couldn't hold Moses Malone. Then you talk about all NBAs and all defense. Listen, Kobe Bryant is one of those guys that got all NBAs, all stars, and all defense award. But I don't hear anybody trying to big him up because of those awards either. So let's not Let's apply the same logic to everybody because some of those All NBAs Kareem didn't really deserve like that. I remember he got a first team All NBA team above Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon had a better season. I think it was like 1986 or 1987. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm still looking for this. I'll be back.
Cool. All right, y'all ready for round 3?
Fluent, do you feel like you lost that round because the chat sure does?
What's that?
I said, do you feel like you lost that round because the chat sure does?
Oh, I won that round. Kareem, listen,
Okay.
Everybody knows Kareem. Listen, there's not one person, even in the chat. Give me your top 10. No one has Olajuwon over Kareem. And I'm respecting Olajuwon. He's phenomenal. But everyone's got Kareem over Olajuwon.
Yo,
Put your scores in the chat for the rounds. I see a few 1-1s. I see 2-0 Fluent. See 2-0 Fluent.
I love how Dub said, I remember, like he was alive in 88. I remember.
Say, yeah, remembering is going back to look. Remembering is going back and looking and recalling what I looked up. So yes, that's me remembering.
I went back and looked.
Research that I looked up.
I just want to be clear. I went back and looked.
Like, stop being an idiot, Fluent, please.
I didn't. Not that you remember. I went back and looked.
Fluent, do you feel like there's a difference between you actually viewing it versus Dub, who went on YouTube and I don't know if he did, allegedly looked at the clips? I believe Dub.
I think, look, both are important because even if you lived it like I did, I still have to go back and watch it, right? Because your memories sometimes change. So you want to go back and look. But yeah, I think there's a difference because you miss some of the importance. Like, people don't realize when we talk about Kareem, like what he meant to that team above and beyond any of the stats. Like, there's a reason his nickname's the captain, right? People looked up to him. He made those other guys around him, even at the center position, he made them better. So that feeling becomes part of it, but absolutely, you got to go back and watch. You got to go back and watch the tape. The interesting part is he's trying to compare the Lakers of the 80s, who went to eight NBA finals and won 5 of them, to Hakeem, who went to 2 in the 90s against, let's be honest, a far superior league. Like, he did not have to go against the all-time great Celtics, the Sixers. Like, it was a much more competitive league in the 80s than it was in the 90s. And it was the 2 years that, Jordan was retired, which should be held into account as well.
Talk to us, Doug.
Bradley Beal, right? To your eyes, he was a better scorer than Kevin Durant, where he's putting up 30 points in back-to-back seasons.
If he put up more points on a consistent basis, then yes, he's a better scorer for that time. For that time period.
Don't die on that hill. No,
I will not.
There's not.
Let me ask you a question.
Point in time
I always ask you the same question. I always ask you the same question. Who's the better scorer? And the easy answer is, and the truth is, the guy who scores most points. Period.
Keep going.
That's it. That's it. What are we doing? There's nothing else.
Why'd you stop? That's the clip you made. That's the clip you edited, dummy. Show the full episode where I said who's more efficient.
I'm sorry. Listen, you did it. I remember that song.
You're showing the TikTok that you edited. You're showing the TikTok.
Did you edit that?
I'll go get the full episode. If that's what we want to do, we want to sit and wait, I'll go get the full episode.
It might have been on our old YouTube account. You go look it up because, bro, I'm sorry. There's nothing to misunderstand.
Go pull the full episode, not the clip you edited. Did you edit that clip? Yes or no?
Go find the clip. I found it. Go find the clip then. Go find it. Make a clip of your own. In the same episode too.
I will, absolutely.
Go ahead. Like, what the fuck are we doing,
I've
bro?
said it multiple times. The person that scores the most.
2-0 Dub. 2-0 Dub, because he just lied. Another point needs to be deducted off clear lying.
Who are you, Luca, begging the refs for calls? Get out of here, man.
I'm just
lost.
Facts, bro.
Again.
Fluent, is this easy work for you?
This, yes. Let's be honest. He should be helping Mars with Pickett, is what he should do. They should have done a 2-1. That's what should be happening.
So you feel like you did, but I felt like you had to get this out of your system. This just fight off this Dub Nat once and for all. And this was like your coming to of just like, Dub, don't ever step in my lane anymore. But now I want the big dogs.
See, Dub is like a typical kid, right? He don't listen. He thinks he's right. He's going to argue. Even when he loses, I won. I'm going to scream louder because I won. He lost. He's going to continue to lose. And I've told him this before. And you actually said it at the beginning of this. He's going to go back and look at tape in 5 years, 10 years, when he starts to grow, and he'll be like, fuck, he was right, that motherfucker. And he'll probably hate me more because of it. And that's cool. I like Dub. I want to help Dub.
But he'll be more fluent at that point.
You know, that's what I try to do. That's the whole reason for Sports Fluent, is to make people more fluent.
This is
Even if they don't want to be. I'm gonna help them.
This is the highest form of denial. It's so funny. He don't really understand. Like, I have to have these talking points. I have to say my opinion. I don't really care. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Fluent. I don't care what people think. I just have to say my point. I don't think I'm automatically right in scenarios. I don't. So you barely hear me say that I'm right or you're wrong. I barely go that route because I have enough maturity to understand that nobody's right in this because it's all mainly opinion.
So you never
that's
say you're
just
right, you're
so
wrong?
again.
Okay.
I said consistently, I don't do that a lot. And Shaq, Ron, they've been on the show numerous times. They could always say that I don't. I'll say you're crazy for thinking that you think, but I won't sit here and go off a cliff saying I'm automatically right, you're automatically wrong. You just kind of mad because you just put yourself in a box.
Mad. I'm
So
not mad at all.
I just need you to do me a favor. Go look in that episode, and
Oh, yeah,
you know what?
I'll send it to
I'll
you.
send it to you. I'll look it up for you.
I'll make a clip. I'll make a clip.
Go make a
Because
clip
not only did I
from
say
that
it in that
episode.
episode, I say it repeatedly. If you take the names away, the person who scores more, if the person scores more and is more efficient, they're better than the person who scores less and is less efficient.
That's not what you said
That's
there.
it. That's what I did. That's
there.
not how you clipped
That's
it.
not what you said.
That's not how you clipped it.
What were the words that came out your mouth? I didn't clip it. I didn't take
You
anything else.
absolutely clipped it. Because right
Dope,
after that
dope.
sentence where you clipped it, I said, if he's more efficient.
What he's doing right now, he's going off of an assumption that I'm editing this to make him look bad without going off the facts.
not at all.
Wait.
I think you're doing the right thing.
You talk about
you're doing the right thing.
You're
editing.
interrupting and
You're
being loud.
to get
That's
clicked.
exactly what
You're
you're
doing the right thing.
You talk about
you're
me
editing
interrupting
to
and
get
being loud.
views.
You're
doing the
interrupting
right
me and
thing.
being loud right now.
Absolutely.
This whole entire time you
All right, so I gotta interject because we gotta move on to the next topic. These two will sit up here for the next 3 hours and go back and forth.
The craziest part is I see so much Fluent and Dub and so much Dub and Fluent that it's just like, this is amazing. I'm like, what is going on? Dub's really gonna look back at some years and be like, wow.
All right, bro. This is
hold up. Wait, Dub. Hold on. Because we got to get to this next topic. The last topic, but certainly not the least. We have a debate of generations. So, Dub, what generation are you taking?
2000s.
Fluent. What generation?
Wait, before we get into this, wait. Before we get into this, Fluent's taking the current generation. But before we get into this, Dub, do you edit biasly? Like, I'm still not just hopping over that because what's going on here?
I don't know why he's even saying that. I don't edit biasly. I go with the formula that was taught to me by Jordan Deal. I put myself on a spike. I put everybody else on a spike. Fluent got mad at one of the videos I put of me and my scrotum across his face. And a couple weeks ago, I put a video of him saying that I was a Matthew Stafford meat rider. So I always, if there's some hot stuff that I think is gonna be clickable, I would chop it up to whichever way I see fit, regardless if it's me, Fluent, or anybody else. And if somebody says some off the wall stuff, where I just post it, it is what it is.
Fluent, do you feel like the integrity of Players' Choice TikTok is somewhat taking a shot now that Dub's running things behind the scenes?
Well, if I had a choice between JD and Dub, I think we all agree it's JD, right? I think Dub would even say that.
Oh, JD's amazing. He's a goat.
See, there you go.
JD's the goat, though. Like he's.
I told Dub the other day, we got to be careful because he's on way too often, and it's gonna hurt. It's hurting the product.
He didn't say that. He's lying again.
Fluent.
He didn't say that. He's lying again.
Noted. All right, Rod. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Capologist of the year, man.
I like your "We Are Not the Same" hoodie. Players' Choice merch coming soon.
You see it. All right, man. I can't wait to get into this third round. Dub, you went first the first time. Fluent, you went first the second time. Who wants to go first this round?
Let him go. Let him go first.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Well, Dub, it's on you.
I think the 2000s era, in my opinion, is probably one of the best eras of basketball ever. There's so much nostalgia in there, so many top 10 players in there as well. At the Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, coming in the fray. So many high caliber people, man. Allen Iverson, the nostalgia with him, the We Believe Warriors, the competitive nature, the dynasties we've seen, the coaching, Phil Jackson, Greg Popovich. It was just such a remarkable era for the 2000s, man. The competition was always tough, and even when teams were dominating, there was always good competition. Sacramento Kings, Portland Trailblazers, Detroit Pistons. The 2000s era was just one of the eras we just look back in and we're just like, wow. That's all I got to say. Now you're not an idiot.
There's a reason that the NBA did everything in their power to change the rules of the game of basketball, because the 2000s, as incredible as it was as a Laker fan, had 2 top 10 players on the same team, had the slowest pace that I've ever seen, the lowest scoring games we've ever seen. And it wasn't because of this phenomenal defense. It was very good defensively. Don't get me wrong. There were some incredible defensive players, but they muckied up the game, and it wasn't as fun to watch anymore, which is why they made the changes to the rules to open up the game and to allow the incredible talent and skillful players to do what they do best, which is play basketball, not grab and push and hold and do everything they can. I know this is a basketball show, so I'm not going to relate it to hockey for too long, but in hockey, they used to have the neutral zone trap where it was mucky and slow and every game was 1-0. And NHL was like, this sucks. And they had to change it. That's what happened with the 2000s. So my era, that's the best, is today. And why is the era better today? Because when you compare it to the 2000s, it's more open. It's more fun to watch. They have more assists per game. They shoot a higher field goal percentage, a higher free throw percentage, a higher 3-point, field goal, everything. It's more fun to watch. There's more scoring. And there's still great defensive players. We still talk about these perimeter defenders and Rudy Gobert being a shot blocker. And so you still have all that defense, but you allow the talent. The talent is spread out among the league. Look at how many superstars we have today. Almost every team, like 20 teams, have a legit superstar.
All right, Fluent, your time is up. Dub, it's on you now. Kick it off whenever you're ready.
They eliminated the hand check rule, I believe, in 04, 05, which kind of brought the Phoenix Suns and their 7-second offense to be as dynamic as it was. And after those years, I think the perimeter players really started getting off a lot. Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Carmelo Anthony, and there was just so many things to watch and marvel at. So that whole rule change happened in the 2000s, which also had a good balance of having great perimeter players, also have a good balance of having great players in the post as well, like a Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett. Such a balanced brand of basketball of low post players and perimeter players and very high talented individuals, which is why, in my opinion, that's more fun to watch. Right now, what we have right now, it's great. It's great basketball to see with the threes and everything. But in my personal opinion, the balanced aspect of the 2000s, along with the defense, the low post scoring, the perimeter scoring, that's just something that's irreplaceable. We probably will never see again in our lifetime. So the 2000s, man, it's just so many great players to look at too. Spurs, Tracy McGrady, Houston Rockets, Carmelo was balling out. The We Believe Warriors, man, like it was a great time, man.
Absolutely. Fluent, we're ready for your rebuttal. Round 2. It's on you.
More
He's
talented.
muted. You're muted.
Hold on. Start from the
Yeah,
top.
start
Go
over,
ahead.
start over.
Start from the top.
No worries. The fact that he's bringing up kind of the talent and the players and the teams, when you compare it to today, it's incredible. We got centers, 7-foot centers who are running the point and dropping double-digit assists. We got 7-footers shooting threes. Like, it is the most fun we've ever had watching basketball. And the talent level is significantly higher than it was in 2000. Again, because of those rule changes that were needed because the game got mucky, we get to see their talent. Guys like Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Giannis, like the amount of teams that we have that have potential, or like I said, superstars or about to be superstars, is ridiculous. This is the evolution of the game, and we're still not done. We're still in the era that I'm talking about, because next year there's going to be a 7'4" dude coming in who has the ball handles of a guard and the shooting of Steph Curry and can play inside, outside. So now what we have is great defenders, great shooters, great post players. We literally have it all. And the best part is it's spread out among all the teams. There's no team that I can. There's no super team right now. There's no Lakers that have 2 top 10 players right now. Literally, you have 6, 7, 8 teams that have a legitimate shot at winning an NBA title, and that's what makes it entertaining, and that's why it's the best right now, because it's maybe the first time where it's been this open, where it wasn't 2 teams dominating. That's going to happen now. So yeah, it's just like I said, it's and I've watched four decades of basketball, and I'm telling you.
All right, Fluent, your time is up. Yo, we have reached the last round where me and Shaq are just gonna step out of it and let you guys do what you do best. Time starts right now.
So yeah, when you talk about big men, there's only two, maybe 5 big men in the league that's like prominent figures, and in the 2000s there was way more than that. Um, so yeah, on top of that, you talk about not knowing who's gonna win. I think that just became a thing probably like a year or two, probably last season, mainly because a couple years ago
Who,
we all
who,
thought it was
who are
going
those? Who are those centers in the 2000s? Because you said
the
there's only
2000.
5 right now, right?
Yeah, you had Jermaine O'Neal. Well, big men. I'm talking about
Jermaine
like
O'Neal. If that's where you're starting, we got
Jermaine
work to do.
O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Dwight Howard, Marcus Gamby was good for a time. There was a lot of good
Marcus
centers in
Camby.
that.
You're
Come on,
comparing Jermaine O'Neal and Marcus Camby to Nikolai Jokic?
you're not understanding my point. My point is that there's more of a talent pool of big men than there is right now. I'm not comparing them. I brought up Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan, and then you disregarded that. I'm saying there's more variety of big men in that era than there
You
is
got
now.
big men now who run the point, who shoot threes, who can block shots, who can post up. They're way more skilled today. They do way more. Marcus Camby was a defensive player who blocked shots. He was one-dimensional. He was Rudy
Mhm.
Gobert.
hmm
And
So
in a generic version.
For Joel Embiid, you have Tim Duncan,
Joel
Kevin
Embiid,
Garnett. For
absolutely.
Joel Embiid,
Who's like
for
Joel
Joel
Embiid? Who's like
for
Nikolai
Joel
Jokic?
so for Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, you have Dirk Nowitzki, you have Kevin Garnett, you have Tim Duncan, you have Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, then who else? Who else do you have to lean on? Who else? I brought up the other names. Who else do you have to lean on? Clint Capella.
Clint Capella.
Like
It doesn't
that,
matter.
and that's my
It's
point.
more
That's my
diverse.
point.
It's more diverse. You have
So you
more
have
guards, more forwards, more centers. Again, are you suggesting that today's players are less talented than the 2000s?
no. I'm saying
All
what
right,
I'm
so they're
saying
more
that in terms.
talented. Are you agreeing that they're more spread
Wait.
out, the talent?
Can I finish? You asked me a question. Can I finish answering the question? I said no. I think today's league there are probably more talented perimeter players. We're talking about guys who play on the low post as big men. The talent pool in the 2000s was definitely better than it is today. Right?
Of
Right?
7-footers? No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I
I
got
think the
nothing to
big men
say.
are
I'm not
fairly equal. I think the forwards more so now, and I think guards way more now. And
guard
don't
more
forget,
now.
because the game has evolved, those guys that you looked at, not the ones that you mentioned, I'm talking about the Cambys and what those ones. In today's league, they're not stars anymore. They're not stars anymore. They're role players. They're
I
fringe
think there's
all stars.
I think they'll still
Camby's
be
not
good,
that guy in today's NBA.
I think I think they'll still be stars, but I mean you're missing my point. Yao Ming too. Somebody said I'm gonna say MC Robinson. He said it. Yao Ming too. Like you're just missing the point. So
Oh,
I
you
mean
need
I
help
can't.
from the chat? Do you want them to give you any more
Not really.
answers?
It's just something.
Okay.
This is something I
Oh, you're
forgot. So
pulling it off from there. Yeah, so I'm
you're
just
missing
asking.
the point. You're just missing
But
the
you
point. I
agree
can't
that they're
argue
more
with somebody.
talented today, right?
Huh?
You agree that the players are more talented today,
I
and
said
the
that
big
they're
man
more
is less
I said that
important,
they're. I
and
said that
there's
the
less
talent.
big men because of the way that they play, more
How many
open,
times am I
free
going to say the
flowing.
same thing, Fluent? How many times am I going to say
I'm
the
just
same thing?
confirming that they're more talented
I
today,
said I said that on
and it's a
terms of
faster
perimeter play.
game. There's more
Can I
assists.
finish?
You shoot
What
at
are
a
we
higher
doing?
percentage.
You talk about interrupting and being
Yeah, Ron
obnoxious
said,
about
"Let's do
me.
what we
And
do
what are you
best."
doing? And what are you
He said,
doing?
"Do what we do."
What are
I'm
you
winning a
doing?
debate. That's what I'm doing.
No, you're not. You're doing everything that you accuse me of doing, which shows the
You don't like
contradiction
it, do you?
and the hypocrisy that
You
you
don't
are.
like it, do
You're
you?
just a hypocrite, bro.
I
You're
should maybe
just a
clip this
hypocrite.
up and put it on
You're
TikTok.
just a hypocrite. I'm chilling, bro. It's just fun to see. It's fun to see how much of a hypocrite somebody could be.
Oh,
All
Honestly.
right, so all right. I gotta step in. We gotta end it. We're gonna run the polls. We're gonna see who won. In the meantime, the battle that's after this is Chill and Elder Rufus. You guys stick around for that. That's gonna be one for the ages. But how do you guys feel about this battle in conclusion? Dub, how do you feel like you did?
I think if the chat's not being biased
Hello,
towards me,
JD.
I think I won pretty easily, but the chat really doesn't like me like that, so I guess it is what it is.
First of all, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. I love you.
You're the
But I
goat.
also love Fluent, bro. That hurt seeing you guys fight like that, man.
Hey, this is an everyday thing.
It's
Fluent,
just
how do you
yeah.
feel?
Hey, listen, I'll let you guys in the chat decide.
I thought it was I thought it was great. Got a lot of things off. But it is what it is. I know the chat has their own personal bias, so I'm not angry. I know what I came in. I know what I
The
brought.
fact that you're pulling
So
the chat's personal biased card because you know you lost, I think is hilarious.
I don't
I
think
think
that
that's
I
hilarious.
lost.
You know what you
I,
should say? You should say thank you for making me more fluent. Is
I,
that's
don't-
really what you should say?
I
And you know
don't
what? You're welcome. You're
I don't
welcome.
want to be I don't want to be
What
an
I'm here to
idiot. I'm
do.
sorry.
It's
I
what
don't
I'm
want
here
to
to
be an
do.
idiot. I don't want to be an
What I'm
idiot.
here to
So I
do.
would never want to be fluent. I don't want to be an idiot.
Exactly. You're not. Okay. See, that's
Hey,
what I'm
Ron,
trying to
you got the
help you
winner?
with.
Ron,
You
you got the
agreed.
winner?
No, you ran the poll, right?
Yeah. You
And
want me to announce it?
Yeah. Go ahead, you got it.
Round 1 goes to Sports Fluent. Round 2 goes to Sports Fluent, and round 3 Fluent swept.
the sweep. I knew I should have brought my broom. I knew I should. I want to thank everybody for being more fluent and teaching Dub a lesson that he should listen more and talk less. I appreciate you all.
Nasty. Yo,
You know, we should. You know,
fellas.
we should end with something though. You know,
Oh man.
Tony's his name.
What's going on?
Whoa!
This is what we do in the winner's circle, Fluent. Yo, fellas, any final words before you guys cut out?
Fluent, we all know what happened here today. It's okay.
Yep, we do know.
We do
I'll send
know.
your broom in the mail.
You
With your
the
ashes.
move is crazy.
you are one of the worst people I've ever heard talk sports. I just want
Oh
you to know
my
that.
god, this is getting
There's
disgusting.
there's
Bloodbath.
no respect. There's no respect given. I'm
No
not gonna
respect.
give flowers to somebody that I know didn't deserve to win. So it is what
No
it is.
respect. Yo, we
All right,
gotta
well,
push on to the next one.
well,
But
Apollo.
Fluent,
Ivan Drago gave you a beating. What's up?
that was great, man.
Dad jokes
Good
is
performance.
so bad.
Both of you.
And you
All
still
right,
got
Fluent.
swept.
All right, Dub. Appreciate you guys for coming up and giving us a classic battle. We'll catch you guys on the next show.
Hey, Dub. Salute.
Nasty.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.